Well, the term I use is on-ramps and off-ramps.
Yep.
One of our core tenets from a development perspective is we're going to stick to what ServiceNow is core great at. And where they're great is workflow automation. And remember, it's also that data fabric of the business.
Correct.
So, the same way that an employee is going to get an approval on a laptop or software for that laptop, they now get to have that same experience on the front end for those badge access workflows. And we don't limit ourselves just to those things. That's why this partnership is so helpful, right? We're going to touch on other areas about threat management and offline devices and all of the workflows associated with those different areas.
Yeah. And, I've wanted to shake people before about, that they need to get that physical access part completed. They haven't done that spoke yet. And that on-ramp has been so hard to convince people that they need to automate that process. They're dealing with it today, and it seems cheap and simple because they just throw it over the fence to George in security to handle. But George is overloaded. If it's automated, you turn that whole game around. And as you also said the off-ramp, though people no longer need access. People know we need to deal with all those situations.
Well, the on-ramp, off-ramp for me is actually where ServiceNow and Bain go, and then where RightCrowd picks up.
Yes.
And so the on-ramp and the off-ramp, we stop where ServiceNow's, where they're really good at, and then you guys pick it up and roll from there. Yeah. The other thing that we're thinking about are areas outside of identity and access management. And so we're going to bring all of those workflows into one place so that people can do things the same way over and over again, because you talked about the person sitting in the SOC. That person is charging a value, right? They're charging money to sit in that SOC and manually do that task. We now automate that.
Yeah.
But on top of automating it, because of the way that we record all of this data, we present it in dashboards.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest problems we hear from our customers is I can't articulate the business value. But if we can say, hey, in our partnership with RightCrowd, we're on a very large company of 100,000 employees that are doing 10,000 badge transactions a year, and that takes a half an hour per transaction, and now it takes 0 time.
It's 100% accurate.
With an audit trail, with all the things, the workflows behind it to say, are these approvers still here? Are they allowed to do it? All the checks and balances. And again, that's what we're good at on ServiceNow, but the opportunity to connect to a whole bunch of different systems. And I see opportunities where, Rev 1, we're talking about the basics of going to the different access management systems, but I think mobile's going to be huge, right? I think some of the other data sources and feeds that you guys use are going to open up a lot of opportunity over time.